Sarah Panetta is a New Jersey-based multidisciplinary artist and digital creator working under the name Save Sarah. Sarah has been visually driven since she was a kid, and that instinct eventually led her to study graphic design and visual communication. Design was her starting point. It taught her structure, balance, and how visuals guide emotion. That foundation grew into a multidisciplinary practice across illustration, painting, mixed media, and motion-based digital art. You can see her work locally at Cafe Metro in Denville, where over 20 of her pieces are currently on display, and at El Monte Coffee Roasters in Chester, where she's created murals, menus, and branding. Through Save Sarah, she explores curiosity, memory, motion, and human connection, creating work that feels a little nostalgic, a little dreamlike, and very personal.
Welcome to Garden State of the Arts. I'm Savannah Rinaldi, and here with me today is Sarah Panetta. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So how long have you been an artist? Did you grow up thinking that you're going to be where you are today?
I've probably been an artist like my whole life. I would definitely say there was signs like when I was in preschool and, kind of evolved from there. Things that I was doing was just more advanced for someone my age, I think. So kind of showed that I had ability early on, to work with.
Yeah, no. Like in high school, did you continue? Did you go to college for it? For like your favorite medium to do?
So I went to CCM, got my associates, and went for graphic design. Had a lot of amazing professors who I still talk to today. And, they've been like the best kind of support system for me, just to learn, to start, and to figure out where I was going. It was just a really great foundation for me.
Having a support system is always like refreshing to hear, especially when it comes to artists that I've talked to, because there's so many that don't have it. But you said that you're into graphic design. Is that what inspired Save Sarah?
Yeah, Save Sarah actually started in high school. I had a blog that was a very creative way of me designing layouts, and it was kind of just for fun in high school. But since I had already made so much with my websites, my designs, I had like pretty much a way to kind of take that to the next level and use that as a way to showcase a lot of the designs that I was making even before I started college. So it really kind of went, from there. And, so I would say that the Save Sarah brand is really more about it's about imagination, it's about emotion, and I feel like it's about building a world that connects everything together.
So would you say graphic design is your favorite medium to use for your art, or do you like painting or charcoal, pastels?
I love it all. I really do. I really love a mix of all graphic design, illustration, and fine art. So I think a lot of it had to do with when I was in college, I would try and build up as many skills as I could, especially because I wanted to be a freelance designer. Mm-hmm. And I knew that the more skills I had to offer, the better it would be for me to have jobs that I'd be able to do. Right. So, pretty much I would do anything from a website to a logo, to then it expanded to where now I'm really a professional artist and I'm able to, be hired for murals and paintings and, to teach. Here's a painting that I taught, at Parsippany Library. I also have taught at Drew University, and, teaching these classes are something that, I may not have seen myself doing, but it was something that kind of I fell into and, really started to enjoy the teaching aspect as well.
I live right in front of Drew University, so I know exactly where you're talking
about. So you know where it is.
You'll
have to go next time I have a class.
Yeah, no. So you said that you paint murals in different places. Can you talk about the paintings in Cafe Metro?
Yeah, so I'd say that the Cafe Metro paintings, half of those are like my original set of paintings. So like some of them are like from the very beginning, like when I was like 19, you know, even before I had transferred out of CCM. I started going to Kane University, and I really feel like I got, you know, the rest of my education there. They really specialized a lot with branding, images when it came to corporately setting up an identity. Like they did such a great job with teaching you how to brand an identity. And it was not something that I think other colleges were really doing at the time or even still are, but I have a really good sense of branding.
Yeah, no.
And, you know, and it was kind of like given to me from, you know, from Kane really after I went to CCM. So, you know, but sometimes between classes or between semesters, I would spend time doing like, I did something like a 30-day watercolor challenge where every day I would paint a watercolor, like just for fun.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I actually have a clip I think our producers have from your website and also other paintings, and we'd love for you to describe them for us.
Yeah, definitely, sure. So there's the wolf. I've sold a lot of those. And the cool thing is that they're digital prints. And we'll talk more about that. But that's a design I did actually for El Monte. And it's in Chester. It's a coffee shop. There's some of my paints that I make all from scratch. Here's me painting Ozzy. You know, this is for the Tiny Art Show at Roxbury Library. It's actually on exhibit right now. So you could see
a great picture of Ozzy
Thank
Osbourne.
you so much. I mean, I just wanted to really do justice to honor him, you know, the way that I felt like he should be honored. You know, so I really enjoy taking part in these community events because I have lived here my whole life. And, you know, it brings a lot of people out to look at these tiny canvases. And I actually got a job working for Parsippany Library just from doing one of these, and they hired me on the spot. I painted Dolly Parton, actually, and they loved it so much they, you know, offered me a job to teach. So teaching then, you know, take on a whole nother form. There's my most recent project, one of my most recent ones, where that is a huge mural in a basement right in Ledgewood, and a sports fan, and that took a while. You know, there was a lot of straight lines. It's very big too, as you see me standing next to it.
Very detailed.
Yeah, it's very detailed. It has a lot of lines and a lot of shapes and a lot of colors. So.
You know, as a Mets fan, I don't like that mural, but it's a very beautiful mural.
Well, I'll paint you Mets. I'll paint you any team you want.
Perfect. So with Cafe Metro, what emotions do you want people to have or take away from your art there?
Well, I'd say that I'd really want them to feel like a sense of calmness, a sense of curiosity. I really love when people can see themselves in my work, or that it connects to them. I can always tell that they're being very authentic too with the way that they respond to me. You know, I've said this before other times, but it's almost like being a magician in a way, because when you reveal a trick, you know, and they're just almost just blown away by what the end result is. And I could see it in their eyes. They almost light up like a child, like this sense of, oh my God, wow. And, you know, they thank me over and over again, and they could see it in their eyes, how much it means to them. Their faces just like light up. So like, that's all the validation that I personally need as an artist. And, you know, even like with a few of my clients, especially at Cafe Metro and El Monte, when I make the designs, especially that end mural there for the Yankees, you know, they said to me, you know, they're like, we're obsessed with it. And like, I could tell, like, you know, they would say it over and over, we're obsessed. And like, you know, that makes me feel so great, because it's like, I'm obsessed about it because that's just how I am when I work. But like to see that I can get other people to see my work and trigger those emotions in them the same way really gives me a good feeling.
Yeah, no,
So.
if I had a Mets mural like that in my room, I'd also be like, this is insane. So
Well,
it must be
I'll come
so nice to have that constant validation.
Yeah.
How would you tell people how they get opportunities to do what you do?
I'd say to honestly, if you need to do something and you want to get paid for it, you just need to do it for free long enough and you'll get paid for it because you'll have the examples to show for yourself.
No, that's perfect.
And honestly, that is the best way to do it. It's like every step where I am today, it was all just like, I got this job because I did this. You know, I got that because I did this. So everything leads to the next thing. And I'd say, honestly, if you want to get paid for something, just do it for free long enough to where you show that you should be paid for it.
I'd like to thank my guest today, Sarah Panetta. Thank you so much. Join us next time on Garden State of the Arts.